Oh, good day. Welcome to Footy and Stock. What did I hear?
What was that?
It was my intro.
That's,
I've been working on it all week. You just laughed at
It
it.
was a bit camp.
A bit camp, was it?
Very
look
bright.
out, it was camp.
Very bright today. Yeah.
Oh, we've just lit things up this week, Frankie, because episode 4 that went up 2 weeks late
Yeah.
was very dark last week, wasn't it?
So
it's a dark place for us.
Yeah, it was last week. So we've stepped it up. We've got a lighting department now for the Den and Frankie.
No, we haven't. You've just moved the light so
Put
it
that
faces
light
this
up.
way.
It is very bright, so let's wrap this one up real quick.
It took you about 2 seconds. Not sure why we couldn't work that out last time.
No, well, I just moved the flap to one side and it brings the light towards us.
You're a talent.
Can't see you.
You're a talent.
Camera's on, isn't it?
Yeah, camera's on.
Okay.
Here we go. Now, Frankie, Carlton lost again to Fremantle, of course. Should have
No.
won the game. They're just losing the games they should
No.
win. What's going on?
Nothing's changed.
You
with
told me that you went down there and helped them and sorted everything out. Now they've lost 4 of their last 5.
Well, I helped Brendan with his kicking because he kicked 8 against Hawthorn, that behind, of course. But the inconsistency, it's still there. Doesn't matter what year it is.
No,
Carlton,
doesn't matter if it's
they win the
2020,
ones that they can't.
2015, it's even 2009. Doesn't
They
matter.
win the one that they shouldn't be winning, and then
Yeah.
they lose the ones they should win.
Yeah.
And they've got Collingwood this week. They'll probably win it, but because they're expected, they'll lose it.
Yeah. Well, have a look at the Essendon Footy Club, aren't they? Just playing under man at the moment with Reamers, McVeigh,
Yeah.
Scott Lucas, just to name a few players. Some
Yeah.
very good players down that
Yes.
side. Welsh, but they're
Yes.
winning. They're playing exciting football through the middle of the corridor.
This is the thing, it's the youngsters. And we saw Richmond, we saw teams, when you bring the youngsters in, they do fire because this is what I believe, not that anyone
Do you
cares.
think football's changed?
Football's changed. You don't know half the players who run around anymore.
It's youth now, isn't it?
It's all about youth, and the thing is, the youth players want to make their own.
It's so
their
exciting.
own mark. You see,
Yes.
and so when you put a team full of young kids, it's a new generation,
'Cause
and they bond themselves
Yeah.
together, and they just think, well, let's make it our. This is our story now.
So it's not so much about being 6'6" anymore and built like this. It's just if you can run, you can play footy now.
Well, that's
If
right.
you can run all day
Yeah.
and you get the footy, then you're fine.
And that's why we've seen so many players from Ireland coming over, even from rugby now as well, and there's going to be a few more from Africa as well if we see this program see fit. And look, things are going to happen, and football's not going to be about the kids that run around Australia anymore.
You're right. I got an exclusive for that.
I ain't allowed to say it.
Well, you say it.
Well,
I have
no,
exclusive.
we've gotten in trouble on this show before for saying things we shouldn't.
Pike out for Sydney. He's being rested this week.
Right, so by the time this gets up, it won't be exclusive. Though,
Exactly, but today's what is it? Thursday right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be up tomorrow. So just backdate. Remember that I broke it.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's the time?
It's now quarter to. Just looked at my non-watch. So
Yep.
I haven't got a watch here, but it's about 5:45
All right.
on Thursday night.
Okay, good. Well, remember that then when it goes to air, and then remember when you said it.
And of course, St Kilda's still unbeaten, Frankie. We've,
Yeah.
we've said this 8 weeks, 7 weeks in a row now because no one's beaten them.
No.
Do you think they're the benchmark? Are they better than Geelong? Are they?
Oh.
Do you reckon when they come together, who will you be tipping and who would you have your money on?
Well, that will be very interesting, and we'll see if that game gets moved to the MCG in round 14. St Kilda, the Cats, would be great if they're still undefeated at the time.
Yep.
I think, I don't really know who's better, but you did say that they would get beaten by Port Adelaide, St Kilda,
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago when they didn't. They've
Yep.
still marched on forward. So,
Also apologised and said that I was wrong.
but St Kilda's percentage is the only thing that's keeping them in front of Geelong. But Geelong are playing some really good football.
They
Really
are.
good football.
They're playing some great footy. Good to see the captain back in Tom Harley back in the squad.
First
Gary
game.
Ablett still. Who would have thought Gary Ablett missing from that side?
You would have noticed.
Steve Johnson stands up.
Mhm.
He's out. So they've always got players who are just going to stand up and take over from his role, aren't they? Really?
And that's really affected people's dream teams. Dream team crisis meetings have been happening all week with Ablett out and all these other players that have been out. Richardson's out. I know one of my mates has actually quit Supercoach.
Yep.
Because he's not happy that all his players
Who's
are out.
that, Chops?
Chops thought he was the best.
Chops made a bet at the start of the year that he would finish on top. He's never played this game before, so he got really cocky as usual, and now he sits about 10th on the ladder and he's just sharp shot, you told me.
And he's quit, so there's only 15 teams in the league now.
Shocking, Chops.
Shocking, Chops.
Shocking. Finally, Carlton take on the Collingwood this weekend. That's going to be a close one. Who's going to win that one?
Carlton will win.
Carlton will win it, will they?
They
have
always
to
look
win.
for the big game.
If they don't win, they're 3-5. And did you know Brett Ratton will probably have one of the worst coaching records in the competition?
Goes under the table, doesn't it?
30%
under the radar.
winning record. Harvey gets smashed week in, week out. They've got a very similar win-loss ratio there, Frankie. And Harvey doesn't have what Ratton's got, and that's number 1 draft pick. So why hasn't he been criticised, Brett Ratton?
No idea, mate. I don't.
We just brought that to the table. Do you
Well,
think
yeah.
this will be massive?
Might be
Front
on the
page?
back page tomorrow.
I hope so. But it'll go to air tomorrow, so Saturday it'll be back page.
Back page in Saturday's paper.
Very good. We look forward to this
Yeah.
weekend's round of football. Catch you next week.